Welcome to My Friends Don't Know, a podcast about news and politics. I am your host and co-host, Kapi. This is episode number 15, and we're going to start this off by letting my friends Uptown know that Uptown has a community fridge. It's a hot pink fridge, has a dope design. It's on Broadway and Dungan next to the bodega that's there. If you know of anyone in need, if you're in need, go stop by, pick something up. I've mentioned other fridge locations on earlier podcasts, but if you go to Uptown Fridge's page on Instagram, they have a post with all the addresses there. So you go to @the Uptown Fridge on Instagram, share that information with your people. We got to help each other out. All right. Boom. So right now, we're seeing that a lot of the states that rush to reopen are having a surge in COVID cases. I'm not going to get into who's to blame. There were definitely precautions that could have been taken to try to prevent this. Other countries have been able to do it. I will say this, though, wearing a mask, not political. Not political. There's no logic behind not wearing it. It literally cuts the distance that the virus could travel. If you cough or you spit when you speak, not everybody's going to show symptoms. And you don't have to wear it 24 hours a day. You don't got to wear it at home. But when you go outside, just wear it. I didn't bring that up to NAG. I brought it up because the Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, held a press conference on Thursday. He announced that the federal government was working on its fourth iteration of the CARES Act, which was meant to stimulate the economy during the COVID pandemic. The next round of funding, he said, will be more targeted than the stimulus bills of the past few months, with $130 billion in remaining congressional funding specifically going to businesses that were particularly hard hit. When it came to the topic of the American people needing a second round of stimulus checks, he said it was still too early to tell. Despite it being nearly 4 months since the pandemic started putting people out of work and the numbers going up in a lot of states that rushed to reopen, still too early to tell. For businesses, it's cool though. They got them. And look, the Senate is on recess until July 17th. Then they have another recess from August 10th to September 7th. So whatever bill they plan on writing up and debating and signing has to get done between July 20th and August 7th. So they got about 3 weeks to get this done, or else we're going to have to wait until September 7th for them to get back to work. The Army has identified Vanessa Guillén's remains, according to her family. The remains were discovered Tuesday in a shallow grave. The suspect, Aaron Robinson, killed himself as the officers closed in to arrest him. His girlfriend was charged with evidence tampering and said that she helped dispose of the body. The family has complained that the Army's search for Vanessa Guillén lacked urgency and care at the highest levels. That the investigators moved too slowly to piece together evidence and secure phone data that led to the suspects more than 2 months after Guillén disappeared. On April 22nd, she left her car keys, her barracks room key, her Army ID card, and her wallet at her armory. Walked to the arms room that was overseen by Robinson. Robinson hit her in the head with a hammer, killing her right there. Soon after, witnesses saw Robinson struggle with the heavy weight of a plastic box as he shoved it in his car and drove away. In an interview after her arrest, Aguilar said Robinson picked her up and took her to a site near the river in Belton, and the box that had Guillén's body was already there. They dismembered her body, tried to burn the remains, buried them in separate holes, before returning 4 days later to break up the remains using concrete to conceal them. On May 18th, the day after witnesses told investigators that Robinson carted off the box, Robinson consented to a search of his phone that showed multiple calls to Aguilar the day of Guillén's disappearance. Another month passed before investigators said Aguilar was interviewed about the calls, told agents she was with Robinson at his house the night of the killing, then recanted and said she was with him driving around. The agents received location data from Robinson and Aguilar's phones and pinpointed an area near the Leon River where the locations matched. On June 21st, investigators searched the area and found a smoldered pit and trees that had fire damage. Scorched portions of a box were found, and there was an odor of decomposition. But investigators couldn't find a body, and so they left. Guillén's remains were just a few feet away. They went undiscovered for an additional 9 days until some men that were building a fence nearby smelled the odor on Tuesday and looked around. They saw hair and called the police. Aguilar was in custody by that evening. Robinson was confined to his barracks room but absconded from Fort Hood later that evening. Police had Aguilar call Robinson and tell him, "Baby, they found pieces. The police then confronted Robinson in the early hours of Wednesday near a church and a dollar store. He took out a firearm and killed himself. Rest in peace to Vanessa Guillén, and I pray for your family and your loved ones. There has to be a real thorough investigation into how they handled that investigation, because, man, I saw this clip online, and when I saw it, I wanted to find out who this group was. This is a group known as NFAC, the Not Fucking Around Coalition. They showed up about 200 deep to Stone Mountain Park, where the Confederate statues of Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson are. That's considered to be the birthplace of the KKK. This happened around 2 p.m. on July 4th. Listen to this.
It is only appropriate that after 400 years, as prophesied, tribes of Israel, all 12 of them, you enslaved us, you degraded us, raped our women and our men, stole our history, stole our religion, and now you're trying to steal our lives, but you want us to believe they matter. You can kiss my ass right in the crack.
Mine too.
Me too.
So it's only appropriate, y'all, that we go to the source. For all y'all out here who don't know, this is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan. This is where they were born after they were destroyed. Just for you. Everything you've been seeing, the police, discrimination in housing, a fucked up education, fucked up banking system, fucked up politics, are all tied to the KKK. You don't believe that, you don't know shit about this country. So what we gonna do is we gonna pay a visit to their home. Because we ain't talking to the police no more. They just work for the KKK. We ain't talking to the government no more because they are the KKK.
That's right.
We ain't talking to the banks no more because they are the KKK. We ain't talking to most white people because y'all are the KKK.
None of them.
Don't tell me that you ain't never been a slave on a motherfucker. I ain't never been a slave.
That's right.
But you riding around in my car.
That's right.
Won't even let me ride in the motherfucker right.
Hallelujah.
So I'm not talking to them no more. I want the heart of the Ku Klux Klan to hear me no matter where the fuck you are. I'm in your house.
That's right.
Where you at? You made a threat. We don't threaten. We don't scare. Cause we don't care.
And we don't fuck around.
You threaten us, we gonna threaten you.
That's right.
You said you gonna start shooting white people at 8 o'clock, we gonna start shooting, black people at 8 o'clock. We gonna start shooting white people at 8:05. Threat, counter threat. Cause threats don't mean shit to us. Y'all been threatening us since Birmingham. I ain't seen shit. Well, it's July the 4th. And all you scary ass Negroes that pass that shit around. Look at what the fuck you did. You made blacks come out. I don't see no white militia. So to the boogie boys, the 3%ers, and all the rest of you scared ass rednecks, we here. Where the fuck you at? We in your house. Let's go. NFAC, motherfucker. NFAC.
This was in response to threats by the KKK that were leaving pamphlets throughout the neighborhoods. The group ultimately left the park with escorted by police. Police said they had no issues. Quick fact, though, relevant to this. Did y'all know that the only time the NRA supported gun control legislation was the Mulford Act in 1967, after the Black Panthers marched to the California state capitol to protest that bill? The bill was created in response to the Black Panther Party, who were conducting lawful armed patrols of their community to protect the people from police. An election commissioner in Jones County, Mississippi, said that she thought she was sending a private message, but the comment was publicly shared on Facebook. She wrote, "I'm an election commissioner in Jones County. I'm concerned about voter registration in Mississippi. The blacks are having lots of events for voter registration. People in Mississippi have to get involved too. Thank you for all you do." This is an election commissioner saying this. She said this was an error on her part because she thought it was a private message. Word? Before I get out of here, another bold, wild move that we would never be able to do. Nordstrom told the landlords to expect half of the rent from now till January. That's crazy. Try that and see what your landlord gonna say. To all my friends that don't know, I hope this helped keep you informed. To my friends that do know, check me, man. Maybe I misspoke. I am your host and co-host, Kapi. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week on Sundays. You heard?